Hi everyone, welcome to class. You guys have already completed your Dover Beach and you've submitted that, not as Google Doc, but as an actual answer. And so now we're going to talk about it because I wanted to see how we could do with our interpretation as we move into our poetry section. So the poem Dover Beach is by Matthew Arnold. And you don't need to know this for knowing the poem, but just always just left that he wrote this on his honeymoon. So he just felt so compelled that he had to write this poem on his honeymoon, instead of spending time with his wife. So he wrote this poem. As I stated earlier, in the notes, stanza one isn't like necessarily so deep and relevant, and I'm sure you could pull things out of it, but here we go. The sea is calm tonight, the tide is full, the moon lies fair upon the straits. On the French coast the light gleams and is gone, the cliffs of England stand, glimmering and vast out in the tranquil bay. Come to the window, sweet is the night air, only for the long line of spray where the sea meets the moon-blanched land. Listen, you hear the grating roar of pebbles which waves draw back and fling, at their return up the high strand, begin and cease and then again begin, with tremulous cadence slow, and bring eternal note of sadness in. Stanza one, our speaker establishes he is observing the sea. He's watching the sea and it's nighttime. We know that because the moon's out. Now what I like to talk about in class in person is typically like the connotation, the connotative use of words and like what kind of tone it is. And so we have some positive sounding words. Calm is a great positive word. Gleams, tranquil, sweet as the night air. Those starts out very positive. But by the end, we've gotten a little bit more of like the sadder tones and sadder word choices. The grating roar, tremulous cadence, slow, eternal note of sadness. Both of those really, show the sadness. But honestly, the gist is he's at the sea. It's nighttime. He's observing it and he's watching things come and go. The waves come in and the waves come out, and just like taking note of what's happening. Stanza two. Sophocles long ago heard on the Aegean, and it brought into his mind the turbid ebb and flow of human misery. We find also in the sound a thought, hearing it by this distant northern sea. Short, sweet. Let's unpack a little bit. Sophocles, in case you didn't know, is a philosopher. So we know that he's now going to talk about how Sophocles felt long ago when he heard it on the Aegean. And if you're in AP Human, you probably know that Aegean's a sea. And if you didn't know that, now you do. So the Aegean is a different kind of sea. This is not where our speaker is. You just think about Sophocles when he was on the Aegean. And when Sophocles was on the Aegean Sea and he was watching the ebb and the flow, which is like the coming and going of the waves, the ebb going out, the waves going in for flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. It reminded him of human misery, which that's not only what I think about when I'm at the beach, but the point of it is that for human misery with the ebb, the out, and the flow, and ebb, flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow, sometimes in our lives we're going to be miserable. It's just part of human nature. Like we are not going to be happy all the time. Maybe you have a pop quiz. Maybe you forgot you had homework to do tonight. Maybe you had to get up and it was Monday. Whatever it is, you're going to have a low point, a point of human misery. So it sucks. But the good news is human misery is an ebb and a flow. So at some point, you're going to get swimming back up. You get a kiss from your puppy. You don't have any homework this weekend. You get to go hang out with friends, whatever. There's going to be something that brings you back. And yeah, once you're up here at the top, you can't be happy forever. Mildred teaches us that. You'll have to go back down, but it's a constant coming and a going. So human misery is like the sea that it's constant. Like it's constantly changing, but it's consistent. And like we will be happy, we will be sad, but we'll be happy again. Now this is the part that Montag actually reads out of the text. The sea of faith was once too, at the full and round the earth's shore, lay like the folds of a bright girdle furled. But now, actually, I'll switch over here. But now I only hear its long, melancholy, long withdrawing roar, retreating to the breath of the night wind down the vast edges, drear and naked shingles of the world. I love this poem so much. Sorry. Okay, so for the sea of faith, it's not a literal sea of faith, so real or not real, it's not a real sea of faith. There's no one by that name. So we know that the sea is metaphorical, like it's like a body of faith, belief, religion, trust, any kinds of those words. Was once too at the full round the earth shore. Every year I have kids like to point out, I guess this means the world is not flat. Sorry, flat earthers. And I always chuckle and say, yep. But more importantly, it tells us that not now, but then there was, used to be, there we go, a sea of faith all around the earth. Like everyone had faith, belief, trust. Like the folds of a bright girdle furled. In case you did not know, that's a girdle. It's kind of like a more modern corset. We definitely don't wear them today, but it still like goes all the way around a woman's waist, like how the sea of faith went all around the earth. Everybody had it. But is a indication for us that there is a shift happening. It was this, but now I'm here. It's melancholy, long withdrawing roar, retreating to the breath of night wind down the vast edge drear. So we used to have faith, but now it is gone. It is withdrawing is a great word that indicates for us that the faith is leaving. Retreating to the vast edge drear in the naked shingles of the world. And so without the sea of faith, as it pulls out, we are left very exposed. And so kind of like to show that here's like when the tide is in, everything's covered, sea of faith full around the earth shore. Once it's pulled back and exposes the naked shingles of the world, it's a lot more exposed and uncomfortable. I'll be honest, I would much rather be on this beach right now than this beach right now. So ultimately I was in this up with, there used to be a lot, everyone on the earth used to believe in something bigger than them, something greater than them. But now we are pulled away from faith and are left with little. This poem was written in the 1850s, but it can apply to lots of different times in history. So take that as you will, I guess. But for the 1800s, they really started having their existentialist crisis. So that's kind of where this goes. Final stanza. Love. So finally he remembers, oh yeah, on my honeymoon, let me talk to my wife. Let us be true to one another, for the world, which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, hath really neither joy, nor love, nor light, nor certainty, nor peace, nor help for pain. And we are heroes on our darkling plain, swift to confuse alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies clash by night. So speaking to someone important, if it's Matthew Arnold speaking, it's his wife, but if the speaker is unknown, we sometimes need to understand that with poems, then it's just someone they care about. Let us be true to one another. So, person who I care about a lot, we need to be honest and there for each other. For the world which seems, we're going to pick out words, how the word seems, like it's various, it's beautiful, it's new, it's the land of dreams. So this sounds perfect. It sounds like the ideal kind of world. It sounds like a utopia. Wow. But hath or has really neither joy nor love nor light nor certainty nor peace nor help for pain. So it's missing joy, love, light, certitude or certainty, peace, and help. And like, let's be honest, you need all those things in the world. So the fact that this world seems so great, but it's missing out on these things means it's actually a dystopia. Excellent. So in this world that seems perfect on the outside, but actually it's a dystopia and it really sucks, we need each other. We need to be there for each other. We are here as on a darkling plain, swift with confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies clash by night. Based on those last three lines, what can we surmise is happening? Something with war, something with fighting, because we've got struggle, flight, armies all kind of adding in together. And so what kind of, let's see, what is the purpose behind this war is my question. And so looking at the wording of confused and ignorant, it kind of feels like there is no purpose to this war. It doesn't seem like anyone really is aware of what they're doing. And the last thing, and typically students kind of struggle with this, so I'm here to help. Surprise, surprise. The armies clash by night. Now I'll go ahead and let you know they're not literally fighting by night. And first period looked to have this big long debate about, well, yeah, but like you could fight at night and you've had night vision goggles. Promising you they didn't, especially in the 1800s. Like, can you imagine trying to fight by cannon at night when you can't see your target? Hard. So that literally fighting by night. So what does it mean that they are clashing by night? Pausing for effect, pausing for your thoughts. It means that they are fighting without being able to see. So they're fighting blindly. They're not considering what side they're on. They're not thinking things through. They're just fighting and charging and not agreeing with each other. So all in all for this poem, he's sitting on the beach on the sea, looking out. It reminds him of a philosopher's ideas on the human misery, but how it must come and it must go. And that makes him think then of the idea of faith or belief and trust for society. Society used to be very trustworthy and everyone had something they could believe in, but now that has been ripped away and they are left exposed and bare. So because we are living in this exposed, bare world right now, my love, we need to be there for each other because we thought this was going to be great, but the world really sucks right now. But as long as I have you by my side, we can get through this, through all these ignorant armies who are fighting unnecessarily, for all these things happening. As long as I have you, I'm going to be okay. So that's the poem. I hope you guys liked it. I think it's a really enjoyable poem, and I can't wait to read what y'all put. All right, guys, thanks so much.